Welcome to the channel, Annie Collins for Imagine Crafts. Today's project, mini list pads. For this project, we'll be using a variety of Imagine Crafts products, starting with VersaFine Detail Onyx Black ink. In the Memento Dewdrops, we'll be using Desert Sand, Bamboo Leaves, and London Fog. In the Memento pads, we'll be using Tuxedo Black ink. We'll be using two stamp sets, one from Fawn called Let's Toast, and we'll be using this cute avocado image right here. From Scraptastic, we'll be using Take Note, and we'll be using that sentiment exactly. An acrylic block, which I've already mounted my images on. White, smooth cardstock that's alcohol friendly. This is optional. A mini legal pad. And cardstock that measures 3.5 by 5.5. Imagine Tarot tape and a white gel pen. Again, this is optional, and I'll be using that to add highlights to our image. So let's get started on our project. We'll start with the Memento Tuxedo Black because I'll be using my Spectrum Noir alcohol markers to color our image. This is optional. If you do not have alcohol markers, you can use colored pencils or just leave this part out. Now, I'm going to color our image with Spectrum Noir markers using CG1 for the inside of the avocado. Not doing any extra shading, just simple coloring here. For the pit, I'm using MB1. And for our peel of the avocado, we'll be using LG5. And I will use my scissors to fussy cut this image out. I'm going to set it aside so we can continue with our project. Now, I'm going to use some StazOn multi-purpose cleaner because I did use black ink and do not want that transferring onto our card panel. I'll be using the same image, but this time I'll be using Desert Sand and Bamboo to stamp the image. I'm going to ink the center pit using the point of my ink pad with the Desert Sand, using the same point of my ink pad and Bamboo Leaves for the outer portion of the stamp. I'm going to fill the entire panel with avocados. I'll keep repeating the process. Bamboo and Desert Sand. And I'm staggering my image so I don't have them all in a row, but I'm going to fill the panel all the way off the panel, so you'll have some of the images cut off. This will create a nice continuous flow. Now I'm going to clean my desk and the stamp, again using the StazOn stamp cleaner, because I'll be using the same image one more time on the other side of this panel. And I do not want any ink, any green or tan ink this time. For the other side of the panel, I'll be using the London Fog Dewdrop. This time, we're going to use only this ink to cover the entire panel with the avocados. Repeating like we did before, staggering them and even stamping off the card panel. The cardstock panel, I should say. I'll show you a few stamped images here before we move on. Creating that continuous flow. And our last stamp right here in the corner. Now we're going to clean off our stamp and our desk before we can continue with our project. Here's the front panel, here's the inside of the panel. Some, again, StazOn stamp cleaner for the stamp and for my desk. Now we're going to grab our little mini pad, and we're going to adhere this panel to it. These little mini pads you can pick up at any stationery store or Dollar Tree. That's where I purchased mine. So basically we're going to adhere to this panel like this, and it'll flip over onto the front. The easiest way to do this is to place your pad down, line up your cardstock panel, sorry, not cardstock panel to it. Grab your imagined carrot tape, and you're going to put 2 strips of it on the back. This is nice strong adhesive, so it'll hold this in place nicely. I'm just separating it about a finger's width apart, or a half an inch or quarter of an inch. Yeah, quarter of an inch apart. I'm going to remove the backing to the adhesive, making sure that my panel is nice and straight. I'm going to lift it up and press down. That's it. Press firmly to make sure that it have good contact, and rub across to get a nice flat edge on the top. If you feel you need more, you can use your scissors, a pen, or even a bone folder to get that nice crisp edge. I just used the top of running it across my desk. Now we're going to pull in that little avocado we colored earlier, a little foam tape to it, and place it on top for a touch of whimsy. This was optional, so you can leave this part out if you wanted, of the avocado. Now we're going to take our sentiment and now VersaFine Detail ink. We're going to ink it up, and we're going to stamp it right on the bottom right hand corner. You can do this before you place your panel on or after, like I did. And that's it. Your project is complete, other than adding a little highlight, which is again totally optional. Here, if you don't like your flap to open all the way wide, you can add a little bit of adhesive and press it in, and it won't pop so far out. You can add anything to your list, whether it's shopping or little notes. So for our highlights, I'm going to use the white gel pen, put a little bit on the pit and a little bit on the inside of the avocado. Our project is complete. We use VersaFine for our sentiment, Memento for the alcohol coloring portion. We use Memento dewdrops and bamboo leaves, desert sand, and London fog for the inside of our panel. The imagined tear tape to keep it all together. I'll have the list of all the things I used in the description box below. You can create this in a variety of colors and different stamp images for your friends and family. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and I hope you subscribe to our channel.